If you have poor circulation in your legs after 60, you have probably been told the same thing over and over again. Walk more. And walking is good. I want to be clear about that from the very start. Keep walking. But here is what nobody tells you. Walking is not enough to fix the real problem. There is one specific movement that actually drives blood out of your lower legs and pushes it back up toward your heart. And ordinary walking barely switches it on. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what that movement is, how to do it correctly, and why it works when everything else has not. Stay with me. Because what I am about to show you changes how you think about your legs completely. Let me start with what is actually happening inside your legs. Your legs are the furthest point from your heart. Blood travels down easily with gravity. Getting it back up is the challenge, and your body has a remarkable system for doing it. Inside your lower legs, there are deep veins surrounded by muscle. Every time that muscle contracts, it squeezes those veins and pushes blood upward. Inside the veins are tiny one-way valves that snap shut behind each push so the blood cannot fall back down. Doctors call this the calf muscle pump. Some call it your second heart. And that is not a figure of speech. It is a mechanical pump that your body depends on to keep blood moving against gravity every single day. Now here is what happens after 60. The vein walls get weaker and stretchier. Those tiny valves start to leak, and the calf muscle itself loses mass and power, especially if you spend part of your day sitting. When that pump slows down, blood stalls at your ankles instead of climbing. Your feet stay cold, your ankles swell by evening, your skin runs short on oxygen, and the less you move, the weaker the pump gets, which makes you want to move even less. It is a slow downward spiral, and a lot of people are somewhere on it without realizing. And I want to be honest with you about what is at stake here. Because poor leg circulation after 60 is not just uncomfortable. When blood stops moving well through the legs, small cuts and sores heal slowly. They can turn into infections. In serious cases, people lose toes or a foot. It is also one of the earliest warning signs that your heart and arteries are under strain. By age 70, close to 1 in 5 adults has what doctors call peripheral artery disease, a narrowing of the arteries feeding the legs, and most of those people have no idea they have it yet. So this is worth understanding properly and worth fixing with the right tool. The good news is real, genuinely good. Because fixing this does not depend on your step count. It depends on a handful of very specific movements that physically push blood back up where it belongs. I'm going to walk you through 5 of them. Counting down from 5 to number 1, the single most powerful movement for leg circulation that vascular rehab programs around the world rely on more than any other. If you only take one thing from this video, it is going to be number 1. But you will understand it far better if we build up to it together. Let us start with number 5. Number 5. Ankle pumps. This one looks almost too simple, and that is exactly why people skip it. It is often the very first movement given to patients after leg surgery, before they are even allowed to stand up, because it keeps blood from pooling while they heal. When you flex your foot up and then point it down, your calf contracts and relaxes. That motion squeezes the veins and moves blood that has been sitting stagnant around your ankles. No standing required, no walking required. Here is how to do it. Sit in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Lift your toes up toward your shins while keeping your heels down. Then press your toes back down and lift your heels slightly, like you are easing onto a gas pedal. Slow and controlled. That is 1 repetition. Aim for 20 to 30 repetitions, 2 or 3 times a day. You can do this while watching television, while reading, while sitting at the kitchen table. It costs you nothing but a few minutes. Think about how much time you spend sitting each day. In the car, at meals, in your chair in the evening. Every one of those moments is time when your pump is switched off and blood is settling in your feet. Ankle pumps switch it back on without you even getting up. Number 4. Seated leg lifts. Sit up tall in a sturdy chair with your back against the seat and both feet flat on the floor. Slowly lift one leg straight out in front of you, keeping the knee as straight as comfortable. Hold it for 2 seconds, then lower it slowly. That is 1 repetition. Do 10 to 15 on one leg, then switch. The key detail is keeping your back firmly against the chair. That stops you from cheating with momentum and forces the right muscles to actually do the work. These are the muscles you use to stand up from a chair, climb stairs, and catch yourself when you stumble. When they contract, they press on the large veins running up through your thigh and drive blood out of the leg. As this gets easier, add a light ankle weight or a resistance band. Even 1 or 2 pounds makes a real difference. Muscle responds to gentle, steady load at any age. Number 3, supported calf raises. Stand behind a sturdy chair or at your kitchen counter with your hands resting on it lightly for balance. Feet about hip width apart. Rise up slowly onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as comfortable. At the top, pause for 2 or 3 seconds. Then lower yourself slowly, taking a full 3 seconds to come back down. Start with 10 repetitions. Build toward 20 or 25 as you get stronger. That slow tempo and the pause at the top are where the real work happens. Your calf muscles and your balance system fire together, which is exactly what your body needs when you catch yourself mid-stumble. This movement improves your circulation and your balance at the same time. And for many people, it is the first one that makes them feel genuinely steady on their feet again. That is the end of part 1. In part 2, I will show you the final 2 movements, including the most powerful one of all. The one that vascular programs worldwide use like a prescription to restore blood flow after 60. Welcome back. In part 1, we covered the first 3 movements for poor leg circulation after 60. Ankle pumps, seated leg lifts, and supported calf raises. Now we get to the 2 that matter most. Number 2. The single leg stance hold. Before you think this is just a balance exercise with nothing to do with your blood, let me give you one number. In 2022, researchers followed more than 1,700 adults for several years. They found that people who could not stand on one leg for just 10 seconds had an 84% higher risk of dying over the following years compared to those who could hold it. 84% from a 10-second balance test. And among adults in their early 70s, fewer than half could pass it. You can try this right now safely with a counter or solid chair within reach. Stand up tall, put one hand near something you can grab, lift 1 foot an inch or 2 off the floor and see if you can hold it steady for 10 seconds without grabbing on. That is both the test and the exercise. Here is why it works for circulation. The instant you stand on one leg, your calf, your ankle, your hip and your core all have to contract and keep contracting to hold you upright. That sustained squeeze keeps your calf pump running the entire time, pushing blood up instead of letting it settle back into your foot. Ordinary walking never asks for that. You are on one foot for a split second, then off it again. The single leg hold keeps the pump switched on continuously. To do it, stand next to a counter or wall with one hand resting lightly nearby for safety. Shift your weight onto one leg and lift the other foot just an inch off the floor. Stand tall, eyes forward, breathe normally. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds, then switch legs. Start with 2 rounds on each side. As it gets easier, rest your hand more and more lightly until you can hover it just above the surface without touching. The longer, steadier squeeze keeps blood moving and retrains your nerves to react faster when you trip. And now, number 1, the standing calf pump hold. This is the one I promised you at the start, and once you understand what it is doing inside your leg, you will see exactly why vascular rehab programs around the world use it more than almost anything else. It looks similar to the calf raise from number 3, with one small difference that changes everything. The hold, you rise up onto the balls of your feet, and then you stay there. Your calves work like pressure pumps. Holding at the top keeps that pump fully squeezed long enough to actually clear out the blood that has been stalling at your ankles and drive it all the way up toward your heart. Ankle pumps wake the system up. The single leg hold trains your control. This movement moves the most blood of all, and it keeps it moving. The evidence is real. In a randomized trial published in the Journal of Vascular Surgery, people with poor leg circulation who did a program built around calf raise exercise were able to walk significantly farther before pain set in. Pain-free walking distance improved by dozens of meters. Total walking distance by close to 100 meters, with no medication and no machine. That is the calf pump doing the job it was built to do. Here is how to do it. Stand behind a chair or at a counter, hands resting there for balance, feet about hip width apart. Rise up slowly onto the balls of your feet, heels lifting as high as comfortable. Now hold it, 3 to 5 seconds at the very top. Breathing normally. Eyes forward, then lower yourself slowly. 3 full seconds to come all the way down. That is 1 repetition. Start with 8 to 10. Work up over time to 15 or 20. Always with control. Never rushing. The hold is the entire point. That sustained squeeze keeps the pump fully engaged, drives blood upward, reduces swelling, and strengthens the exact muscles your body reaches for when you catch yourself. And because there is no jumping or pounding anywhere in it, it is gentle enough for most people with arthritis or shaky balance, as long as you keep one hand on that counter. Let me pull all 5 together for you. Number 5. Ankle pumps. Wake the pump up. Do them sitting anytime, anywhere. Number 4. Seated leg lifts. Move blood through the upper leg. Strengthen the muscles that keep you standing. Number 3. Supported calf raises. Circulation and balance together. Number 2. Single leg stance hold. Sustained pump activation and fall prevention in one movement. Number 1. Standing calf pump hold. The most powerful of all. The one vascular programs rely on. The one I would choose without hesitation if you made me pick only one. Do these 5 movements in order. They take about 12 to 15 minutes. You can do them at home, in front of the television, at the kitchen counter, while your coffee brews. One honest warning before you go. If you ever get sudden severe pain in one leg, or a leg turns pale and cold and numb without warning, or you have a sore on your foot or ankle that will not heal, do not stay home doing exercises. Get looked at quickly. That can mean a serious arterial blockage, and it is an emergency. Everything I have shown you today is for the slow, chronic, everyday poor circulation, not a sudden crisis. Your circulation is one of the few things about getting older where you actually have a real vote. These movements are how you cast it. Keep walking. But now you know what to add. The next video covers the morning food that supports your blood pressure naturally after 60. It is linked above. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself.